Hello friends, we start with this footage of a Mi-24 helicopter flying not at low altitude, but at ultra low altitude. I wouldn't be surprised if it gave some colleagues a new haircut. You can actually see it flying under some high voltage tower wires. I doubt the Horde's radars can detect them flying as low as those sunflowers. There's new evidence that the invasion follows the old man's Kremlin plan. 2 Z invaders ride their motorcycles down a road lined with more than 24 of the Horde's military vehicles destroyed near Mirnora by mosquitoes and Defender's artillery. Call me crazy, but if you're on a road lined with dozens of destroyed comrades, I'll take that as a sign from the universe that it's better to turn around and go back to Moscovia. I'm telling you for your own benefit, Ivan. Although most likely in a couple of weeks we'll see these 2 motorcycles as guest stars in a Makuiar birds video. But it's not the only road crowded with unarmed invaders. Here, south of Pokrovsk, we see at least 50 almost new pieces of the Horde's equipment. After facing the Defender's attention and the 155th Mechanized Brigade's long-range artillery, which lately has been doing an excellent job on this front and is not afraid to show its work to everyone. It's crazy to think that the Z-Tourists lose at least 1,200 assault orcs every day, but they still think they're unstoppable. I have a video of invaders napping on a road. I can't share it here, but I'll post it on Patreon. In this video sequence, we'll see how the mosquitoes take out a wide selection of towed artillery Z howitzers. What I want to comment on about these videos, besides how excellent it is that every attack reduces the Horde's firepower, it's that with each passing day, the invaders seem to increasingly depend on these types of howitzers, which have to be towed by trucks, and that they're several decades older than the self-propelled howitzers the Defenders used to destroy at the beginning of the war. I mean, Ivan, tell me you're running out of artillery without telling me you're running out of artillery. This effect is clearly caused by the intense counter-battery fire from Ukrainian artillery. For years, it has actively sought to destroy as many of Ivan's multiple rocket launcher systems as possible, which has made these more scarce each day. Just like the now legendary Boyevaya Machina Podderzhki Tankov Terminators, they haven't been seen at the front for at least a year. Watch the Artillery Z attack videos closely to see which systems are being demilitarized, and you'll see I'm right. Friend, quick pause. As we cover these events, remember you can support us using the description links. This helps the work continue. If you're enjoying the video, please subscribe and like. This footage shows Bakhmut as seen from a Z Mi-28 Havoc attack helicopter. Vegetation is overtaking the city as residents and services have left. You can see how all the neighborhoods and settlements have been devastated and remain destroyed. On the streets, there is no movement of civilian or military vehicles, nor of people on foot or on bicycles. This is what the arrival of Ruskamir in Ukraine represents: destroyed cities and the forced displacement of the population. Russophiles claim their masters invaded to free Russian speakers. But according to what we see in the video, the only thing they liberated them from was their lives and their homes. At least Prigozhin left his top men in this city. Legend has it that at night you can hear these 2 still patrolling the dark streets of Bakhmut. And we've come to another summary of the actions of the birds of Makuiar, where they show us their harvest of invaders from the last few days. You sometimes wonder how they get so many results on the front line. But we must remember that the unit covers the most active front of the war, so they don't have a shortage of targets. They themselves say that the large number of videos they are publishing is because the Horde sends wave after wave of attacks, and the swarm of warrior mosquitoes quickly handles them. But they also say that if Ivan is willing to keep turning his troops into tons of burned remains for a few square meters of land, well, that's perfectly fine with them. Some don't even flinch at the mosquito attacks anymore. They've simply resigned themselves to whatever comes. They try to escape or fake sleep. Those who repent for their sins seem to receive salvation, but most are simply sent straight to the gates of hell. Describing the chaos in these videos is difficult, but it's obvious the mosquitoes dominate the scene. They help each orc regret their decision to come visit Ukraine without being invited. Is it just me, or are many of them quite old? It's something we've already seen. Older men often end up sacrificing themselves to provide for their families, even after being demilitarized. Some drones get right next to the invaders without being heard. I find it odd. Maybe the battle noise has deafened them? Leave your opinions in the comments. This is very interesting and could potentially mean the loss of 2 additional Z warships. But this time, they've faced major technical failures in separate incidents in the Mediterranean and Sea of Azov. According to Russian media on September 27, the 74-meter-long Kilo-class submarine Novorossiysk suffered a critical failure in its fuel system while operating in the Mediterranean Sea. The leak caused fuel to enter the bilge compartment, which poses an explosion hazard that could potentially sink the vessel. The crew lacks the spare parts and specialists needed to carry out the repairs, so they had to surface in an emergency on Friday near the Strait of Gibraltar. A United States Navy P-8 Poseidon aircraft closely monitored a situation. In order to survive, the submarine had to start dumping the remaining fuel into the sea, which revealed the deteriorated operational condition of the submarine. The Novorossiysk, launched in August 2014, is a diesel-electric attack submarine capable of staying underwater for 45 days. The vessel has a crew of 52 members and is capable of carrying Caliber-type nuclear missiles. In other words, the Z Horde might lose another submarine in its operation against a country without a navy. Time to send Ivan the Pirate more cigarettes. In another separate incident, the Buyan M missile corvette Bishny Bolochok suffered serious damage on August 7, 2025 after colliding with a civilian tanker in the Temryuk Bay in the Sea of Azov while maneuvering to avoid a Ukrainian drone attack. The incident caused major damage to the ship's hull. Despite this, a report from the Black Sea Fleet stated that the ship's combat readiness was not affected. Yes, it was hit by drones and collided with a Turkish freighter, but it wasn't damaged and its systems remained calibrated. Totally real. A group of school children organized a surprise pizza party for recovering defenders in a military hospital. The kids' joy and energy encouraged the tough soldiers recovering their health. Because, come on, who doesn't like pepperoni pizza? For more content, subscribe to our Patreon for just $1 to access uncensored war material. Now then, do you think the Novorossiysk will join the flagship of the Black Sea Fleet? Leave your answer in the comments. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel.